Good afternoon and welcome to an exciting matchup in the President's Athletic Conference between the visiting Waynesburg University Yellow Jackets and the Westminster College Titans. My name is Tyler Aaron. Alongside me is my broadcast partner, Michael McKenzie, coming to you live from Ron Galbraith Court inside Buzz Riddle Gymnasium. Now, Michael, Waynesburg has made the 103.6-mile journey up to Westminster College here today. What can we expect today from both teams as winter break is here and Christmas is just over a week away?
Well, you're going to expect two teams that are in dire need of a win in conference play, both of them sitting at the bottom half of the conference standings right now. Westminster is 1-3 in PAC play. That's good for 8th place in the conference. Waynesburg is 0-5. Yet to get a win against a conference opponent. That puts them tied with Teal for last place in the conference. But you look at their scoring numbers, and Waynesburg, they went 4-0 in conference play. They had a really good start to the season, so they're averaging a little over 70 points per game. Westminster's win over Teal, that was their one conference win. Their only win out of conference and non-conference play this season. They're 1-6 overall coming into this game, needing a win, and I would expect them to have a sense of urgency from the get-go on the offensive end of the floor, averaging under 50 points per game, just a little over 49 offensively per game. So a sense of urgency from the jump from Westminster I would expect from the Titans.
Yeah, and looking over here too, Waynesburg has won their last 8 games here against Waynesburg here in this building alone. Last win Waynesburg has had against Westminster came back on January 26, 2019. Waynesburg won that game 93-65, and Andrea Orlowski led that team with 25 points in that game. So Waynesburg's got a little bit of a losing streak right now here, specifically in this building alone. So Waynesburg's going to look to break that one tonight.
Yeah, all time dating back to 2007 at least. Westminster has a 24-18 lead in the series. That 2007 year was when Westminster re-entered the PAC. And like you mentioned, they've won 11 straight overall in this series. So Waynesburg looking to get back on the win column against these guys.
Tori Wesolowski wins the opening tip-off for Waynesburg. She faced up against Ella Casson. Waynesburg has at the top of the key. Hankins drops it off to McFadden. McFadden on the right wing. She gives it back to the top of the key to Sturm. Now over onto the left wing. Hankins passes it in to the free throw line to Wesolowski. Three-point try is up by Sturm. That misses wide. Wesolowski gets the rebound. She passes it into the paint to Sturm. Sturm's layup try is good. Jaden Sturm gets the first points on the board, and Waynesburg takes an early 2-0 lead with 9:25 left to go in the first quarter. It's Arison with it for Westminster. She'll go up for a shot and misses wide. Waynesburg's going to take it back the other day. It's Moorbacher with it at the top of the key. Moorbacher gives it off to McFadden, over to Hankins, down onto the right wing, now over to Sturm, back to the top of the key to McFadden. Back over to the left wing to Hankins. Hankins makes a move. She tries cutting it up into the paint. She stops, gives it back to Wesolowski. Wesolowski takes it into the paint. She throws one up. Misses it out, goes off of Jules Moorbacher. It's going to be Westminster ball with 8:53 left to play of the first quarter.
Wesolowski doing a good job. She got the offensive rebound to set up that first bucket by Sturm, and then got a defensive rebound on that missed shot by Arison on Westminster's first offensive possession.
It's Emily Hess with it for the Titans at the top of the key. She'll give it off to Brush. Brush over down onto the far side to Arison. Arison into Hess. Hess, she drives into the paint. Her layup try is up and good. Just like that, we're tied at 2 with 8:25 left to play of the first quarter. McFadden for Waynesburg at the top of the key. She looks the pass. She gets it over to Sturm. Sturm back over to McFadden. McFadden still at the top of the key. Gives it to Moorbacher. Moorbacher back to McFadden. McFadden tries to drive it in. She loses the ball. It gets stripped out. A foul is going to get called on number 0. That's Kennedy Arison. That's her first foul of the game. Team's first foul of the game as well. And McFadden is going to inbound it for Waynesburg at the left baseline with 8:06 left to play of the first quarter. McFadden gives it to Wesolowski. She takes it up. She lays one in. That's her first points on the day, and Waynesburg takes a 4-2 lead with 7:57 left to play of the first quarter. Arison with it on the right wing for Westminster. She drives it in. Her layup try is no good. Moorbacher pushes the rebound back to Hankins, and Waynesburg's coming back the other way. It's Hankins now up to the top of the key. She'll give it to Moorbacher. Over now onto the left wing to McFadden. Back across to the right wing to Moorbacher. A double dribble is called against Moorbacher. It's going to be Westminster's ball with 7:35 left to play of the first quarter. Waynesburg leads it 4-2. Brush takes it over the timeline for Westminster. Hess with it now at the top of the key. She'll give it back to Brush. Brush takes it into the paint. She goes for a layup try. It bounces around and through. Her first points on the day, and we are tied back up at 4. 7:07 now left to play of the first quarter. It's Moorbacher with at the top of the key. Gives it to Wesolowski. Now over to the right wing to McFadden. McFadden looks the pass. She'll get it to Hankins at the top of the key. Her three-point try is up, and it misses.
I actually think before the shot they called an illegal screen against Waynesburg. Not sure who it went against.
It went against Tori Wesolowski. That's her first foul of the game. It's going to be Westminster ball. It's Hess with it at the top of the key for Westminster. She'll drop it off to Mario. Now back to Casson. Over to Hess. Hess gives it back to Brush. Brush drives it in. She stops. Gives it back to Hess. Hess... That shot goes wide. Sturm's going to take it back across the timeline for Waynesburg. Sturm up to Wesolowski. Uncontested layup try is no good. Hess takes it back across for Westminster. Hess over to Brush. She gives it over to Mario. Her three-point try. No good. Rebound goes to Brush. She throws it back across to Casson. Casson looking for Mario. Nobody's there. It's going to roll out of bounds. And with 6:09 left to play of the first quarter, we are still tied at 4. McFadden will take it across the timeline for Waynesburg. She'll drive it up into the paint to Wesolowski. Her layup try is blocked by Hess, taken back by Westminster. It's Arison with it. On the left wing, she'll give it over to the top of the key to Brush. Brush passes it into Arison. She tries throwing one up. Stopped by Moorbacher. Sturm will take it back for Waynesburg. She'll pass it up across the timeline to the top of the key. It's Hankins now on the right wing. She'll give it over to Moorbacher. McFadden at the top of the key. McFadden behind the back move into the paint. Throws one up. Misses to the right. Rebound try by Wesolowski is no good. Brush takes it back across the timeline for Westminster. It's now Casson. She makes a move. Layup try. She gets fouled on her way to the hoop. This foul's going to go against Jaden Sturm. Her first foul of the game. Team's second foul of the quarter. Complete line change for Waynesburg. Kayla Howard, Macy Justice, Callista Friday, Aubrey Burns, and Maddie Dayton check into the game for Waynesburg. Out for Westminster comes Ella Casson. In is number 20, Grace Cano. First free throw try by Katie Mario is up and good. She has yet to miss a free throw yet this year. Perfect, 100%. She goes 2 for 2 on her free throws, and just like that, Westminster is up 6-4 with 5:15 left to play of the first quarter. It's Dayton with it on the right wing. She'll give it off to Justice. Into the paint to Howard. Hey, Howard up. She misses, taken by Hess for Westminster. Hess takes her time across the timeline for Westminster. She'll give it off to Brush. Brush will cut in. She'll stop. She'll give it back to Hess. Hess over to Mario. Mario on the right wing. She'll pass it in. Layup tried by Bree Davis is up and good. She just checked into the game. And with 4:40 left to play, it's 8-4 Westminster. Now Dayton with at the top of the key. She'll give over the right wing to Burns. Back across to Friday. Friday takes it into the paint. She'll pass it off to the left wing side to Burns. Her three-point try just over the head. Little scuffle for it between Macy Justice and Angelina Brush. That's just going to go out of bounds. And with 4:23 left to play, Westminster leads it 8-4. We got a timeout on the floor, a media timeout.
Yeah, the offensive plan for Waynesburg is clear. They want to try to get it into the post to Wesolowski, Howard, Moorbacher, whoever's in the game. They want to get it to their post players and try to take advantage of a bit of a size advantage that they have. But Wesolowski's had a tough time going up against Ella Casson when she was in, and then Kayla Howard on that last possession. Looked like it was Bree Davis guarding her in the paint. So Westminster doing a good job so far defending in the paint, but the offensive game plan for Waynesburg is to feed their post players, not take as many threes as they had been in their previous 9 games this year.
Yeah, Waynesburg already 2 for 10 from field goal attempts. For Westminster, they're 3 for 7 already. They're making 42.9% of their three-point attempts. So not a single free throw yet for Waynesburg. Westminster 2 for 2 thanks to those 2 free throws attempts. That was good by the freshman guard, Katie Mario. Waynesburg leading in offensive rebounds 3-1. Westminster in defensive rebounds 5-3. As Maddie Dayton will inbound the ball for Waynesburg. She'll give it off to Friday. Friday goes to the top of the key to Dayton, into the paint to Justice. That pass gets fouled. It's going to be a pushing foul against Reagan Corder, her first foul of the game, team second of the quarter. Waynesburg still down to Westminster 8-4. Friday will inbound it to Justice. Justice into the paint. She'll give it over to Dayton. Back across to Friday. Friday into the paint. She'll give it to Justice. Her three-point try. Bounces a few times. No good. Dayton's rebound try is no good. That's taken by Casson. Westminster across the timeline. It's Casson with the top of the key. Her three-point try is no good, and a travel call is going to be called against Ella Casson. It's going to be Waynesburg ball with 3:54 left to play of the first quarter.
Yeah, she moved her pivot foot right before she threw that jump shot up, so easy call for the official.
Friday takes it across the timeline over towards the top of the key. We'll give it off to Burns, back to Friday. Friday takes it into the paint. She tries throwing that one across to Justice, who was standing there alone on the right corner. That goes off of Bree Davis. It's going to be Waynesburg ball with 3:42 left to play of the first quarter. Friday looking to inbound it. She gets it to Howard. Howard back to Friday. Friday on the right wing. She tries passing it in. It's got by Dayton. She makes her way over. Her layup tries no good. Ball's on the floor. Davis has it for Westminster. And a timeout on the floor, it looks like.
I think they called Bree Davis, who got the basketball. They said she stepped out of bounds. No traveling call or anything, just pointed the ball Waynesburg's direction. Yeah,
that was right on the left baseline. But Friday inbounds it to Justice. She airballs it, grabbed by Dayton, kept in bounds. And a traveling call is going to be called against Maddie Dayton. It's going to be Westminster ball with 3:23 left to play of the first quarter. It's Westminster 8, Waynesburg 4. Harrison's going to take it over the timeline for Westminster. She'll give it over to Casson. Okay. Pass intended to Harrison, stolen by Friday. She goes the whole way down. Her layup try is up and good. And just like that, it's a one-score game again. Westminster 8, Waynesburg 6, 3 minutes to play of the first quarter. It's Corder with it on the right wing. She'll take it into the paint. And a traveling call is going to go against Reagan Corder. Another traveling violation for Westminster. It's going to send Waynesburg back to on offense with 2:53 left to play. It's Friday with at the right wing. She'll give it off to the top of the key to Burns. Burns across to Friday, now on the left wing. She'll take it over to the top of the key. She'll pass it over to Howard. Three-point try now by Burns on the right wing is no good. Foul went right to Maddie Dayton. Foul's going to get called. Foul's going to go against Ella Casson. That's her first foul on the day.
Yeah, just a simple loose ball foul. Just called her for a little too much contact with Maddie Dayton trying to go for the board.
Ball's inbounded by Howard. Howard has it now in the paint. She'll throw it back out to the top of the key to Justice. Justice will bring it in. She'll pass it back. That's stolen by Harrison. She'll give it up to Casson. Casson, layup tries, no good. Rebound there was Davis, but that's taken by Friday. Friday takes it across the timeline to the top of the key. She'll throws one up to Dayton, now over to Howard. That one doesn't fall through. And Westminster takes it back the other way with Harrison. Harrison across the timeline, over creeping towards the right wing. Tries throwing that one into the paint. Pass intended for Grace Cano, and she is fouled on her way there. Kayla Howard commits the foul. That's Waynesburg's third foul of the quarter.
And going back to Waynesburg's offensive possession when Friday was driving in, got that pass off to Dayton. Looked like Dayton had a pretty good look at a layup there, but gave it up for the baseline jumper by Kayla Howard that missed just short. And then Howard on the other end gets called for an over-the-back foul, trying to defend in the post.
Mia Hankins, Jaden Sturm, and Jules Moorbacher checks into the game for Waynesburg. Harrison inbounds the ball to Hess at the top of the key for Westminster. 1:49 now left to play of the first quarter. Hess loses it, gets the ball back. Ball got stripped away by Jules Moorbacher. Harrison now with it on the right wing. She'll take it in to the free throw line. Now back across to the right wing to Hess. Hess takes it into the paint. She tries getting around Moorbacher. A traveling violation. Another one by Westminster. Emily Hess commits one.
These officials on both ends of the floor are really honing in on calling these travels.
Yes, they are, but it's Moorbacher with it. She'll give it over to Sturm, now over to Friday, back to Moorbacher at the top of the key, now over to Hankins, now over under the right wing corner to Friday. She'll gives it off to the right wing to Hankins, back to Friday. Friday merges to the top of the key. She threw one up from the free throw line. That's no good, taken by Harrison for Westminster. She'll throw a Hail Mary pass up to Mario, back to Harrison. Shot by Brush, three-point try is good. That's her 5th point on the day, and Westminster leads at 11-6. 46 seconds left to play of the first quarter. It's Hankins. She'll give it over to Moorbacher. Moorbacher rushes it in. She tries throwing a pass out to Sturm on the right wing. That's tipped out of bounds by Mario. 39.3 seconds now left to play of the first quarter. Clara Page Miller checks into the game for Kayla Howard for Waynesburg. And Miller has it at the top of the key. She'll give it off to the left wing to Moorbacher. Moorbacher loses it and goes out of bounds. Goes off of Emily Hess. 27.7 seconds left to play of the first quarter. Westminster leads at 11-6. 5 seconds on the shot clock. So a little quick shot is needed here for Waynesburg. Friday looking to inbound it. She'll throw it off to Hankins. Hankins tries making a move over to Miller. She throws one up there. And a shot clock violation as that one nowhere near the basket. Westminster's going to take over possession with 22.4 seconds left to go the first quarter and a 5-point lead. 11-6 is the score. Now it's Harrison with at the top of the key. She'll give it to Mario on the right wing. 10 seconds left. Shot clock is blank. That is passed up to Cano. Layup try is good. That's her first points on the day, and it's 13-6 now. 1 second left. Friday three-point shot is no good. Clock stops with 0.3 seconds left on the clock. And a pushing foul is going to go against Kennedy Harrison. That's her second foul of the day. Westminster's third foul. Fourth foul on the day. And now Bree Davis will check into the game for Kennedy Harrison. Friday will go to the line to shoot. First one rims out. No good. Friday on her second attempt is up and also no good. Now she'll go for her third free throw on the three-point foul. That one goes in. That's her third point. Spencer inbounds it, and time is going to expire in the first quarter. The end of 1 quarter of play. It is Westminster 13, Waynesburg 7.
Yeah, well played first half there by Westminster. Mentioned it that their offense is not their strength. They've been scoring under 50 points per game on average this season. So coming into this one, from the jump, they were going to have some offensive urgency, and it took a couple of minutes to get going on offense, but Angelina Brush nailing that three towards the end of the first quarter. She's got 5 points. A couple free throws go in for their leading scorer, Katie Mario. She's missed a couple shots in this game, but again, got to the free throw line and made a couple. Then Grace Cano, Bree Davis, and Emily Hess all with 2-point baskets in this game. Solid job by Westminster moving the ball, setting up open shots. Even though some of them aren't falling, they're not making every shot, and you're never going to make every shot, but they're making a good portion of theirs when they get their opportunities on offense. And that's why they're up right now 13-7 on Waynesburg. Waynesburg continuing to try to get the ball into the post, but that Titan defense locking Waynesburg down, making every shot contested inside that paint.
Yeah, so far for Waynesburg in this game, only 15.8% when shooting for a three right now. 3 for 19 right now for Waynesburg. Westminster batting 50% right now. They're 5 for 10 right now. Waynesburg 1 for 3 on free throws. Westminster is 2 for 2.
And that's the one thing keeping Waynesburg in this game. They're limiting the number of shots Westminster is getting, because when Westminster's taking their shots, most of them are going in.
Westminster will get the ball to start the second quarter. And it's Cano with it in the paint already for Westminster. She throws one up, and it falls through. That's our 4th point on the day, and Westminster leads at 15-7, 9:40 left to play. Miller with it. She gets fouled on her way to the hoop. That's going to go against number 24, Emily Hess. That's her first foul on the day. Team's first foul of the quarter. Friday will inbound it to Moorbacher. It goes back to Friday on the right wing. She'll take it to the top of the key. 3-point try by Miller. That's no good. Sturm on the rebound grab is no good. And a pushing foul is going to go against Jaden Sturm. That's her second foul of the game. Team's first of the quarter. It's Davis with it for Westminster on the right wing. She'll try dragging it into the paint. She passes it off to Cano.
Looks like she got called for another traveling violation.
Another traveling violation. It's going to be Waynesburg ball, 9:13 left to play. It's Miller with it at the top of the key. She'll give it to the right wing to Friday. Friday back to the top of the key to Sturm. Now back to the left wing. 3-point try by Miller is no good. And another foul against Westminster. This one's going to go against Reagan Corder. That's against Bree Davis. That's her first foul of the game. Team's second of the quarter. 9:02 left to play of the second quarter. Westminster leads at 15-7. Moorbacher with it. She tries taking it into the paint. She throws up a layup try. That falls through. Moorbacher gets herself on the score sheet, and it's 15-9. Westminster leads it with 8:45 left to play of the second quarter. It's Hess with it on the left wing for Westminster. A foul is going to get called. This one's going to go against Mia Hankins. She was battling it out with Bree Davis over on the left wing side. That's Hankins' first foul of the game. Team's second of the quarter.
Yeah, it looked like Davis was just trying to work herself open right around the ball, and Hankins a little too physical in staying close with Davis.
A couple substitutions here. Tori Wesolowski coming in for Clara Page Miller for Waynesburg, and Reagan Corder comes into the game for Westminster. It's Brush with it at the top of the key. She fakes a shot, gives it over to Mario. Mario drags it into the paint. Now brings off to the left wing. Brush's 3-point try is no good. Moorbacher gets it for Waynesburg, gives it to Friday. Friday throws it across the timeline to Hankins. Hankins from the left wing. Her 3-point try rims out. That's taken by Westminster. It's Brush across the timeline. She'll give it off to Casson. Her 3-point try is no good, but another traveling violation here against Casson. It's the second time that we've seen so far today with her 3-point attempts being called back on a travel.
Yeah, she's catching the pass and then shuffling her feet afterwards. You can only move one foot without putting the ball on the floor.
Hankins has it and gives it off to the left wing to Friday. 7:57 left to play of the second quarter. Friday throws it the whole way out to the right wing. 3-point try by Sturm is no good. That's hit off of Friday and out of bounds. It's going to be Westminster ball with 7:51 left to play of the second quarter. Westminster leads it 15-9. Brush will take it across the timeline for Westminster. She'll make a move out to the left wing. She cuts it back, gives it off to Mario at the top of the key. Mario brings it to the paint, throws it out to the right wing. Long 2-point try by Casson is no good. That's grabbed by Wesolowski on the rebound. Friday takes it up across the timeline, now into the paint, over to the right wing. 3-point shot by Hankins. That's no good. Wesolowski fights for the rebound. And that's going to roll out of bounds. It's going to hit off of Reagan Quarter and out. Now Kara McFadden will check in the game for Callista Friday.
Ever since that first media timeout in the first quarter, it seems like the game plan's shifted a little more back to normalcy for Waynesburg in terms of their number of 3-point shots. High volume, they're just not falling right now for Waynesburg.
Emily Hess checks into the game for Bree Davis for Westminster. Hankins has it. She stops, throws it into the paint to Wesolowski. Now over to the right wing to McFadden. Her pass is no good, and Hess is going to take it back for Westminster. She crosses the timeline with it. 7 minutes now left to play of the second quarter. 3-point try is no good by Quarter. Another traveling violation against Westminster, again on a 3-point attempt. That's the third one we've seen so far today.
A lot, and every time Westminster Titan caught the ball, put one foot down, established a pivot foot, then shuffled both feet to get into the 3-point shot. You just can't do that, and these referees have been all over it today.
Hankins drags it into the paint with 6:45. She gets fouled on her way to the hoop.
Both teams have gone cold offensively these last couple minutes. Just tough to get going as Reagan Quarter gets called for her second foul. Let's see who can kind of break this scoring drought, because it's not just one side, it's both ways. It's been 15-9 here for, it feels like at least a couple minutes now.
Yeah, Waynesburg has 2 fouls of their own, Westminster with 3. Hankins has it at the top of the key. She goes for a 3-point try. That misses off to left. Rebound by Wesolowski's thrown up. That's missed. That's grabbed by Davis for Westminster. She goes across the timeline with it. 6:29 left to play of the second quarter. Westminster leads at 15-9. Davis with it at the paint. She'll throw it over to Casson. Casson with the short 2. That's missed. Grabbed by Moorbacher on the rebound. Gives it to Hankins. Hankins across the timeline. She stops at the right wing. She brings back in a long 2-pointer from the right wing. That misses. Rebound goes right to Hess. And Westminster takes it back the other way. It's Hesswith at the top of the key. She'll give it over to Brush. Brush leaning towards the right wing side. She'll give it over to Mario. Mario now into Casson. Now back over to Brush on the left wing. Goes over to Hess at the top of the key. Shot clock reads 8 seconds. It's Brush with it. She'll take it into the paint. She stops, goes over to the free throw line. That's stopped by Moorbacher. Paint. Moorbacher will get the sole possession, gives it to McFadden. McFadden across the timeline with it. She stops right at the top of the key. That went offline. Rebound went right to Bree Davis. And another travel violation by Westminster. This one's going against Bree Davis as she was in a battle for the ball with Tori Wesolowski. She moved her foot.
I think actually that time they said Davis gained possession with one knee on the floor, then stood up. That's going to be all to travel every single time.
Aubrey Burns checks into the game for Westminster. She had at the top of the key, loses it. It's taken back by Mario for Westminster. She's at the top of the key. She tries faking a shot. That's stolen by Sturm. Sturm trying to throw one out. She can't. Gain possession. And a jump ball is going to get called. It was Katie Mario and Jaden Sturm on the floor battling for it out. And this ball's going in favor of Waynesburg with 5:09 left to play of the second quarter. 15-9 is your score. Westminster leads it. Now Emma Morris will check into the game for Westminster. Out comes number 2, Angelina Brush. Angelina Brush leads the team in points right now with 5. Now it's Moorbacher with at the top of the key. She'll give it over to the right wing side to McFadden. Now Moorbacher in the paint with it. She's guarded by Hess. Now Burns gets it. She throws into the paint. She looks back. She gives over to Wesolowski. Wesolowski throw from the free throw line is no good. Hess is going to catch that before it goes out of bounds, and she's going to take it across the timeline for Westminster. Hess at the top of the key. She'll give over to Mario. Mario three-point try is no good from the right wing. Rebound try by Morris is up and good. She gets her first points on the day and gives Westminster a 17-9 lead. Layup try now by Wesolowski is up and good. That's her third point on the day. And just like that, with 4:12 left to play, it's 17-11. Now Mario takes one up. Layup try is no good. She gets fouled on her way there, though. Foul's going to go against Tori Wesolowski. Another pushing foul. That is her second foul of the game. And a media timeout on the floor.
I was just getting ready during this media timeout thinking when we got under 5 minutes, continue to talk about that offensive drought. It was nearly 4 minutes, it felt like, with neither team getting a bucket. Then right before the media timeout, Emma Morris gets the layup for Westminster. On the other end, Wesolowski gets a layup for Waynesburg. They both teams finally breaking their personal scoring droughts, and we're finally seeing a little bit of offense from each of these teams. But this is the type of game Westminster is going to want to play, low scoring, a lot of physicality, trying to control the boards, really, and just force a lot of contested, tough shots for Waynesburg. They have let up some open threes in this game. Hankins has had a couple of missed open threes. Jaden Stearns missed a couple threes. Clara Page Miller's missed a couple threes. A transition three by Kara McFadden was just a little bit short. The three-point attempts are there for Waynesburg, and that's kind of the game they want to play. They want to get their three-point shooters open and opportunities. They're just not falling right now. I wonder if they continue to stick with the three-point attempts, getting the open threes and trying those, or if they go back to what it was in the first 5 minutes and trying to feed Moorbacher and Wesolowski and Dayton, whoever's in the game, trying to feed their post players and try to take advantage down low in the paint. But Westminster's really owned that paint, both ends of the floor.
Yeah, Waynesburg right now 0 for 12 when shooting for a three. Westminster is 1 for 4 right now. Although Westminster is perfect on the free throws right now, and Katie Mario is going to step up to the line to shoot for Westminster with 4:06 left to play of the second quarter. She lands her first one. She's already 3 for 3 on her free throws today. Still has yet to miss one this year, and she hits her fourth one as well. So she's got 4 points for herself on the day, all 4 coming on free throws. And Westminster leads at 19-11 with 3:58 left to play of the second quarter. It's McFadden with it towards the top of the key. And a charging foul. Looks like it's going to be the call. This one's going to go against Tori Wesolowski. That's her third foul of the day, second foul of the quarter for her. Waynesburg's fourth foul.
I think they called her for an illegal screen. I believe that's the third illegal screen that these referees have called in the game, both combining between Waynesburg and Westminster.
Aubrey Burns, Macy Justice, and Maddie Dayton checks in for Westminster as a layup try by Cano is no good. Burns is going to take it in for Waynesburg, gives it to Moorbacher from the left wing. She drives it into the paint. She tries getting it up to the hoop. Her layup try is short. That rebound's taken by Hess. Dayton tried grabbing it. She was unsuccessful with it. And now Brush takes it into the paint for Westminster. She'll give it over into the paint now to Cano. Her layup try is no good. That rebound's grabbed by Dayton. And Waynesburg will reset with McFadden crossing the timeline, creeping up towards the top of the key. She'll take it over to the left wing. She'll give it to Burns. Burns will take it back to the top of the key. Take a few steps back, pass it over to the right wing to Justice. Now over to the right wing corner to Moorbacher. Now up into the paint. Dayton shot, rebound attempt by Macy Justice, and the freshman gets on the board with her first points on the day. And just like that, it's 19-13 Westminster with 2:45 left to play of the second quarter. Long two-point try by Brushes, no good. Burns grabs the rebound, gives it to McFadden. McFadden over to Justice. She'll throw it into the paint now to Dayton. And a traveling violation against Maddie Dayton. It's going to be Westminster ball with 2:37 left to play of the second quarter. Ella Casson checks into the game for Westminster along with Bree Davis. Out comes Katie Mario for Westminster. Now Casson with it at the top of the key. She'll give it over to Brush. Brush stops at the top of the key. She'll give it over to the right wing to Casson. She'll throw it in. That goes off of Maddie Dayton and out of play. It's going to be Westminster ball, 2:17 left on the clock. Westminster leads at 19-13 here in the second quarter. It's Brush. She's trying to inbound it. And a violation against Brush. 5-second violation. Waynesburg is going to get possession of the ball with 2:17 left to play. It's Friday with it. She just checked into the game. She'll take it across the timeline. She'll throw it over to Moorbacher. Over to the left wing. That shot is blocked by Emma Morris and out of bounds. And with 2:08 left to play, it's going to be Waynesburg ball. Looks like it's a foul against Emma Morris.
They called a shooting foul against Emma Morris. Pretty late whistle for a shooting foul there, but they said she hit Kara McFadden on the wrist and didn't get the ball.
That's Morris's first foul of the game. Team's fourth of the quarter. Sends McFadden up to the line to shoot. She lands her first one. Gets her first points on the day. Her second free throw try is up and good. She's still perfect on the season. And it's 19-15 Westminster with 2:01 left to play of the second quarter. It's Casson with it on the right wing. She'll give it over to Brush. Brush over on the right corner. Guarded by Friday. That's stolen by Friday. It's down on the floor. Brush gets it out. That's tipped out of bounds by Moorbacher. It's going to be Westminster ball with 1:48 left to play of the second quarter. Brush from the right baseline. She gets it in play to Casson. Now over to Morris. She throws it up a little high for Casson and goes out the back of the baseline. It's going to be Waynesburg ball with 1:43 left to play of the second quarter. A couple substitutions coming in for Westminster. Emma Morris and Grace Cano checking out for Westminster. In comes in Katie Mario and Emily Hess. Friday is going to slowly take it across the timeline for Waynesburg. 1:35 left to play of the second quarter. Friday takes it into the paint herself. Her layup try is up and good. That's her fifth point on the day. Waynesburg now down by 2. It's 19-17 Westminster. 1:20 left to play. It's Mario with it. She'll give it over to Davis at the top of the key. She looks to pass, gets it over to Brush towards the right wing. Brush now over to the top of the key. She'll give it over to Hess. Hess on the right wing. She'll take it into the paint. She drives one up. That shot misses. Rebound goes to Casson. Her shot is up. A foul is going to get called on the floor. That's going to go against Joels Moorbacher. Her first foul of the game. Team's fifth of the quarter. It's going to send Ella Casson to the line to shoot. Her first free throw is up and misses. Just a little bit overshot. Her free throw percentage is a .833 so far this season. Her second free throw is up and it falls through. That's her first point on the day. And Waynesburg in Westminster takes a 20-17 lead. 57 seconds now left to go. It's Moorbacher at the top of the key. She'll drive it over to the right wing. She throws up a layup try. She's fouled on her way there. Foul's going to go against Emily Hess. That's her second foul of the game. Team's fifth of the quarter. It's going to bring up Joels Moorbacher to the line to shoot. Substitution for Westminster. Emily Hess checks out of the game for Westminster. In comes in Grace Cano, the 5'11 sophomore. First free throw attempt by Moorbacher is up, and she misses. Moorbacher, .641 so far in her free throw attempts this season. Her second one is up and good. And we're back to a 2-point game now. Westminster still leads it 20-18, 47 seconds on the clock. It's Casson on the left wing for Westminster. She gives it over to Davis. Davis creeps over to the top of the key, guarded by Justice. Davis throws it in. That's blocked by Moorbacher. Moorbacher keeps control of it. It's a foot race with Davis. Her layup try falls in. And we're tied. That's her 5th point on the day, and we are tied at 20 with 20 seconds left to go of the second quarter. Shot clock is blank. Mario 3-point try for Westminster falls short. Rebound goes to Moorbacher. Gives it over to McFadden. 7 seconds on the clock. McFadden over to Friday. Back to McFadden. Her 3-point try just short. Rebound try by Justice. Rebound goes to her. She's not going to get another shot off. And after 2 quarters of play, it is Westminster 20, Waynesburg 20.
It was 19-11 at one point in that second quarter. That was a great job by Waynesburg, just chipping away, score, stop, getting to the free throw line and making 1 of 2 or 2 of 2. McFadden 2 of 2 from the line. Moorbacher making 1 of her 2 free throws, but Moorbacher doing a good job both ends of the floor. In the post, denying every pass into whoever she's defending. It was Casson at one point, Emily Hess at another point, but a number of deflections that led to steals or deflections out of bounds that led to a 5-second violation on Angelina Brush and Westminster. So Moorbacher now 5 points on the day, a key part in that comeback to tie the game right before halftime for Waynesburg.
Moorbacher and Callista Friday leading Waynesburg right now with 5 points apiece. Angelina Brush for Westminster leads them with 5 points as well. But what a first half we have had so far here at Westminster College. But for now, we'll be back here with second half action, but we're going to send it back to Waynesburg University, back to WCYJ-FM in studio. Brett Gambita. Brett, take it away. We are back here at Ron Galbraith Court inside Buzz Riddle Gymnasium for second half action here. 20-20 is our score rate now between Westminster and Waynesburg as Westminster takes the ball to start off the third quarter. It's Arison with it on the right wing. She'll give it over to Brush. Brush will take it over to the edge of the paint, lays one in. And just like that, Westminster will take back the lead. It's 22-20 Westminster, 9:32 left to play of the third quarter. It's Hankins with it at the top of the key. She'll stop over, gives it to Dayton. Dayton into the paint, guarded by Hess. Her shooting attempt is blocked. Now it's Arison with it for Westminster, throws it up to Hess, and batted out of bounds by Moorbacher. It's going to be Westminster ball right there at the right wing baseline with 9:13 left to go of the third quarter of play. Harrison will inbound it over to Mario. Her 3-point try is up and good. Give her 7 total points now on the day. And Westminster leads at 25-21. 8:55 left to play. Friday with it for Waynesburg at the top of the key. She'll drag it into the paint. She'll try and go for a shot. She gets one up. That's blocked. Rebound attempt by Dayton is no good. And a foul is going to get called against Maddie Dayton. That is her first foul on the day. Waynesburg's first foul of the quarter. 8:48 left to play of the third quarter. Brush with it for Westminster. She'll take it across the timeline, getting speed. Stops on the dime at the right wing. She'll take it over and now into the paint. She'll throw one up to Casson. She faked the shot up and draws the foul. This one's going to go against Jules Moorbacher. That's her second foul of the game. Waynesburg's second foul of the quarter. That sends Ella Casson up to the line to shoot. Her first free throw attempt is up and no good. Her second one is up That one is also no good. Westminster will take back the ball. It's Mario from the right wing side. That's no good. Moorbacher grabs the rebound, takes across the timeline for Waynesburg. Behind the back move, now into the paint. She goes for a layup try. That falls through. Her 7th point on the day. And it's 25-22. Westminster leads it. 8:09 left to play. Casson with it. She takes into the paint, guarded by Dayton. Her shot goes out. Dayton tried throwing that one back into play off of Casson. Unsuccessful. Westminster's going to get the ball at the left baseline with 8:02 left to play of the 3rd quarter. Harrison will inbound it over to Casson. That's stolen by Dayton. Dayton and Hess. Her layup tries up and it falls through. That's her first points on the day. And Westminster's lead is cut down to 1. 25-24. Westminster leads it. 7:45 left to play of the 3rd quarter. It's Hess with it at the top of the key for Westminster. She'll throw it over to the right wing side to Brush. She'll take it in. Her shot's no good. Taken by Hankins. Brush tried stealing that one away from Hankins. Unsuccessful with it. Hankins will walk it in towards the top of the key. Give it to Friday. Friday with it at the top of the key. She'll throw it in over to the right wing. 3-point try by Hankins is in. Her first points on the day. And it gives Waynesburg their first lead since the first quarter of play. It's 27-25 Waynesburg. 7:08 left to play of the 3rd quarter. It's Hess. She'll give it over to Mario on the right wing. Now over to Harrison. Her 3-point try is no good. Rebound caught by Hankins. And here comes Waynesburg back the other way. Across the timeline to Moorbacher. Moorbacher into the paint. She throws up a layup. No good. Friday comes swooshing in for the rebound. Friday over to Sturm. Throws it over to the top of the key to Dayton. Dayton throws into the paint. Layup try. Overshot. Friday strips over the rebound. Dayton grabs it. Throws over to Sturm. Sturm from the left wing 3. Off the rim, up, hits a stanchion up on the top and out of play. It's going to be Westminster ball. 27-25. Waynesburg leads this with 6:32 left to play.
That Hankins made 3 a few minutes or a few moments ago. First made 3 of the game for Waynesburg, and it couldn't have come at a better time.
Harrison with it. She'll give it over to Hess at the top of the key. She'll drag it into the paint. Now back out towards the left wing. It's Harrison. She'll throw it up into the paint. Shot by Cano is no good. Sturm grabs the rebound, gives it to Friday. Friday across, pass to the near side to Moorbacher. Moorbacher on the right wing. She'll give it over to Dayton. Dayton from about the free throw line swishes it through. Her fourth point on the day. And Waynesburg's up by 4, 29-25. They lead at 5:51 left to play of the 3rd quarter. Hess with it over on the right wing side for Westminster. Throws it up to Davis. Davis at the edge of the paint. She throws one up. It is no good. Friday grabs the rebound, throws it across the timeline to Moorbacher. Moorbacher spins around, grabs her own rebound, lays one up. She misses. Rebound taken by Hess. Over to Harrison. Harrison's going to throw it the whole way across. Tipped by Friday and out of play. Pass intended for Katie Mario. It's going to be Westminster ball with 5:21 left to play of the 3rd quarter. Checking in for the game for Waynesburg is Kayla Howard and Macy Justice. Out comes Jaden Sturm and Joels Moorbacher. Mario will inbound it for Westminster. But first, a substitution for Westminster. Kennedy Harrison checks out. In comes in Angelina Brush. Brush leading Westminster in points right now with 7. And it's Brush with it. She'll take it up into the paint. She'll throw one over to the right wing to Hess. Hess now into the paint. Her layup try falls in and out. Dayton will scoop up the rebound. Gives it to Friday. Friday comes in with speed. She throws it over to Dayton. Dayton brings it into the paint. She tries making a move around Hess. Her shot misses. Brush, she throws it up to Mario. It's Mario and Justice. Mario The shot is blocked by Macy Justice. A great play by Macy Justice. Whacks that one out of bounds and keeps a 29-25 lead for Waynesburg with 4:47 left to play of the third quarter. Media timeout.
Maddie Dayton, a couple big layups there for Waynesburg that got the Yellow Jackets. They extended the lead. One of the layups extended the lead. One of the jump shots got them to within 1 point. And then the Hankins three, again, couldn't have come at a better time for the first made three of the game for this Yellow Jacket team. And interesting that both teams started that half with a different lineup than they started the game with. Angelina Brush started the game for Westminster back in the first quarter. She was on the bench to start that first half. And then with Dayton being in that to start the third quarter for Waynesburg, a bit of a switch up for the Jackets, as well as Callista Friday being in for the Jackets to start that third quarter. Both teams trying to mix some things up, mix lineups up on the floor, give each other different looks on the offensive end of the floor. And right now that is playing to the benefit of Waynesburg, with Dayton a couple of made buckets, and then finally again getting that three-point jumper to go. Now 1 of 14 from three. Still not numbers you're going to go back and look at and say, oh, that was even a solid day shooting the three ball, but just make one or two here in this second half. Already got one, and that's going to do enough to make Westminster respect that, and then that opens up what you eventually want, and that's to take advantage of your size in the paint and the physicality in the paint, which we've already seen a little bit in this third quarter with Dayton and Moorbacher going to work both on the glass and making layups.
And like you said before, the Mia Hankins right wing three has definitely been the turning part so far as Westminster inbounds this one. Shot is blocked by Howard. Rebound goes to Casson, and looks like a foul is going to get called against Waynesburg. This one's going against Maddie Dayton.
That's her second foul. Third quarter, so 2 fouls, not a big deal, but I thought that one was a jump ball. Looked like Dayton got her hands on the ball there.
That's Waynesburg's third foul of the game, as that pass by Davis is stolen by Dayton. Macy Justice on the layup try is no good. That one's going to roll out of bounds. Macy Justice was the last to touch it, and it's going to be Westminster ball. 4:31 left to play of the third quarter. Waynesburg leads this one 29-25. Ball is inbounded by Casson. Got by Harrison. Harrison guarded by Hankins. Harrison just crosses the timeline now. Over now into the right wing to Brush. Brush over to Davis at the top of the key. Back over to Brush. Now into the paint to Cano. Cano layup try is no good. Rebound taken by Friday. Friday takes it across the timeline. Tries throwing a pass over to Howard. That was blocked by Davis. Down onto the floor. And a foul is going to get called against Callista Friday on a pushing foul. That's her first foul of the game. Team's fourth of the quarter. Checking in now for Waynesburg, Aubrey Burns and Kara McFadden comes in for Waynesburg. Out comes in Friday, Dayton, and Hankins. Jules Moorbacher also checking in for Waynesburg as well. As it's Brush, she'll take it across the timeline over on the far side. She'll give over to the right wing to Harrison. Now over towards the top of the key to Brush. Brush takes it into the paint. Her layup try is no good, but a foul is going to get called on her way. That one's going against Aubrey Burns on the shooting foul. That's her first foul of the game, team's fifth of the quarter. Katie Mario checks into the game for Bree Davis for Westminster. Angelina Brush to the line to shoot. She has yet to shoot any free throws today. She's at a .667 average so far this year as she lands her first one. That's her 8th point on the day. Her second free throw is up, and that misses. Rebound is caught by Jules Moorbacher. 29-26 is your score. Waynesburg with the lead, 3:37 left to play of the third quarter. It's Justice with it at the top of the key. She'll give her to Moorbacher. Moorbacher into the paint. She drives it back into the paint. Layup try, she's fouled. This foul's going to go against Grace Cano. That's her first foul of the game. Westminster's first foul of the quarter. It's going to send Jules Moorbacher to the line to shoot.
She's already taken 2 free throws today, leads the team in free throws taken with 39 coming into today. She's at 41. This will be 42 and 43 on the season.
And right there's one. Her 8th point on the day as well. Gives Waynesburg that 4-point lead back. Her second free throw is just short. She's 2 for 4 on her free throws today. Waynesburg leads at 30-26, 3:18 left to play of the third quarter. Harrison with it on the right wing for Westminster. She'll give it over to the top of the key to Brush. Brush throws it into the paint, takes it back out. And it looks like Harrison stepped out of bounds as she caught the ball. And with 3:05 left to play, Waynesburg's going to get the ball. McFadden takes it across the timeline for Waynesburg. McFadden stops. She throws a long 2-pointer up, and that falls in. Nothing but net. That's her fourth point on the day. Extends Waynesburg's lead to 6, 32-26, 2:42 left to go of the third quarter. Harrison with it on the right wing. She throws it to the top of the key to Cannell. Back over to Brush. Over on the left wing. Now into the paint. Back out. Cannell with the long 2. Bounces a few times off the rim. Caught by Moorbacher. She'll take it across the timeline herself. She'll take it into the paint. Her layup try is short. She gets her own rebound. Another layup try falls through. Her team leading 10th point so far today. It's 34-26 Waynesburg. 2:05 left to play of the third quarter. Harrison drives it in herself from the left wing side. That falls short. McFadden takes it across the timeline. She'll give it to Burns. Burns 3-point try is good. Her first points on the day. And Waynesburg's second 3-pointer. Waynesburg takes the 37-26 lead over Westminster. 1:48 left to play of the third quarter. Westminster with a 30-second timeout.
Yeah, Westminster really needs to gather their bearings right now. This has been an impressive run here by Waynesburg. 7 consecutive points unanswered by Westminster in about less than a minute. The big 3 by Aubrey Burns, layup by Jules Moorbacher. She's at 10 points, leading all scorers now. Kara McFadden with the long 2s, just boom, boom, boom. And all of a sudden you look up at the scoreboard and it's an 11-point lead for Waynesburg. Largest lead by either team in the game, and usually the third quarter had really been the tough one for Waynesburg coming out of the locker room. They've had trouble the last couple of years, but today that's not the case. They've come out in the third quarter firing on all cylinders. Went down 25-20 there to start the third quarter. Thought that maybe this would be the classic third quarter where things at the very least start trending the other way against Waynesburg, but they've gone now on a 17-1 run since going down 25-20 to start the third quarter. An impressive last about 8 minutes. We'll call it 7.5 minutes here for Waynesburg, responding to that quick 5 points by Westminster that got us started at a halftime. Been impressive for the Yellow Jackets here in this third quarter.
Yeah, Westminster only with 6 points so far in this quarter alone. And 3 of those points is coming from Angelina Brush. She hit a 2-pointer early in the second quarter, or in the third quarter. 1 free throw made. That's all they got. Westminster takes it over the timeline over on the right wing. It's Brush. She lost it. She quickly got it back. Burns was right there ready to pounce on it. And now it's Mario with it on the right wing. She'll throw it over to Brush. Brush at the top of the key. She'll take it in towards the right block. She gets fouled on her layup try. That's no good. A pushing foul is going against Waynesburg here. It's Kayla Howard on the foul. That's her second foul in the day. Waynesburg's 5th of the quarter. First 3 free throw attempt by Brush is up and good. She's 2 for 3 so far. That one misses out. Westminster still has it. Brush with a long three from the left wing. That bounces out. Moorbacher tries to keep it in. Stolen by Moorbacher. Pass by Hess was no good. Now McFadden with it. She'll throw it over across to Howard. That's unsuccessful. Taken back by Westminster. It's Arison. She comes in with speed. Layup try off the glass. No rim hit. Now Moorbacher over to Howard. Howard tries throwing that one into the paint to Moorbacher. That hits off of Hess. And now Mario takes it back in for Westminster. Just now under a minute left to play of the third quarter. 50 seconds to go. Waynesburg up by 10, 37-27. Brush at the top of the key. She'll give over to Hess on the left wing. She'll drive it into the paint. She throws one up. That's no good. Rebound by Caston. She throws it the whole way back out to the top of the key. Now back to the left wing to Hess. Her three-point attempt is airballed. And now Sturm with it over on the left wing. She'll give it over to McFadden. McFadden's going to hold it back. 16 seconds left on the shot clock. Now 15 seconds to go. Shot clock's going to run out with 1 second to go of the third quarter. McFadden over. She'll give it over to Howard. Howard drives it into the paint. She loses the ball. That's taken by Brush. Long pass over to Arison, and she hits a buzzer beater three-pointer from the left wing. She threw that one up with under a second to go, and she lands a perfect three to end out this third quarter. What a shot.
That was just Westminster getting the steal with about 4 seconds left to go in the half, just trying to even get a shot off. A cross-court pass from it looked like Brush to Arison, and Arison pulls about a 25-footer and gets it to go. And, I mean, nothing but net. That was pinpoint accuracy on the shot by Kennedy Arison, and that's exactly what Westminster wanted to do out of the timeout. Cut into this deficit. Now only 7-point lead for Waynesburg going into this fourth quarter. Although, for that about minute 50 they're coming out of that timeout, a lot of that was sloppy play. Turnovers by Waynesburg, a lot of contested shots by Westminster. Not great shot selection on their end of the floor, but they got 1 out of 2 free throws on that one sequence with Angelina Brush at the free throw line, then the 3 by Kennedy Arison. You get a 4-0 run to end that fourth quarter, or end that third quarter. Not going to jump out at you on the stat sheet, four straight unanswered points in a minute 50 for Westminster, but it's now only a 7-point game. They are right back in this thing. 2 twos and a 3 ties this game up for the Titans, so they did exactly what they wanted to do coming out of that timeout. Cut into the deficit and try to get a little more fluidity on offense, get the confidence rising heading into a big-time fourth quarter.
Waynesburg alone in the third quarter went 2 for 4 on their three-point attempts, starting 5 for Waynesburg. Miller, McFadden, Moorbacher, Sturm, and Burns. Again, those 2 three-pointers by Waynesburg came from Hankins and Burns. Waynesburg's going to start with possession. It's McFadden over on the right wing side. She's guarded by Arison. McFadden throws it over to Burns. Long 3 from the left wing side is no good. Rebound caught by Hess for Westminster. And Arison's going to take it across the timeline for Westminster. 37-30, Waynesburg with the lead. 9:30 left to play of the game. Layup try by Cano is up and good. That's her 6-point on the day. Cuts this lead down to 5. Moorbacher layup try is fouled. This is going to be a blocking foul. This one's going against Grace Cano. That's her second foul of the game. Team's first of the quarter. Mia Hankins and Callista Friday checks in for Waynesburg. Aubrey Burns and Kara McFadden head off. Moorbacher leads the team in free throws. She'll go up and swishes her first one. That's her 11th point so far today. Second one is up and good. She's 4 for 6 on her free throws today and gives Waynesburg the 39-32 lead. 9:13 left to go of the fourth quarter. It's Hess with it for Waynesburg at the top, for Westminster, at the top of the key. Hess over to Brush. Brush and Hess trades places, gives over to Mario. Now she's standing at the top of the key. She throws it into the paint to Cano. Her two is no good. Caught by Miller. Now Friday throws it the whole way across to Moorbacher. Moorbacher cuts it in. She throws it out to the left wing corner. Three-pointer by Sturm is short. Friday on the rebound. She takes it back into the paint. She throws one up. That one falls through. That's Callista Friday's 7th point of the game. Waynesburg extends their lead up to 9, 41-32. Waynesburg leads, 8:25 left to play of the 4th quarter. It's Hess with it at the top of the key. She'll throw it over to the left wing to Arison. Arison back over at the top of the key. She throws up a free throw try. That misses. Rebound grabbed by Hess over on the right wing. Hess throws it back over to the top of the key to Arison. Arison over to Mario. Mario at the top of the key. She'll bring it in over to the elbow. She throws a layup try in from that right wing block, and that falls in. Cano with her 4th point of the quarter, 8th point on the day. It's 34-41. Waynesburg leads it. 3-point try. Miller is no good. Westminster gets the ball back. Brush throws it up to Cano. Cano, another layup try is no good. Moorbacher grabs the rebound, gives it up to Friday. Friday comes in with speed. She cuts into the paint. She throws a layup try up, and it falls through. Her 9th point on the day. Waynesburg leads at 43-34, 7:21 left to play of the 4th quarter. Brush takes over the timeline for Westminster. She takes it up to the top of the key. Over now to the left wing side to Hess. Now into the paint for Cano. A shooting foul is called. This is going against Clara Page Miller. That's her first foul of the game. Team's first of the quarter. Tori Wesolowski will check in for Waynesburg. Out comes Jules Moorbacher. Bree Davis comes in for Westminster along with Emma Morris. Out comes Katie Mario. First free throw attempt by Cano is no good. .429 percentage for her so far this season. Second one is up and just short. She's 0 for 2 on her free throws. And a double dribble is getting called against Jaden Sturm as the rebound goes to her. And Westminster's going to get the ball back. 43-34. Waynesburg leads at 7:06 left to play of the 4th quarter. Kennedy Arison will inbound it from the left baseline for Westminster. Arison throws a long pass out to Morris over to Davis at the top of the key. She's guarded by Friday. Back over to the left wing was Arison. She throws over to Casson. Casson creeping over to the right wing. That's taken by Morris. She spins around, gives it to Hess. Long 2-point attempt from the right wing. That's offline. Rebound grabbed by Friday. And Waynesburg takes it back the other way. Friday across the timeline to the top of the key. Over to the right wing is Sturm. Over to Hankins on the right wing corner. Back over to the right wing. 3-point try by Friday is good. That's her first 3-pointer of the day. And Waynesburg extends their lead to 46-34. 6:22 left to play of the 4th quarter. Casson in the paint for Westminster, throws it out to the left wing to Davis. She brings it back into the paint. She throws one out to the top of the key to Arison. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Long 3 from the top of the key for Hess. Just hits the rim. Rebound grabbed by Davis. Morris chucks one up from the paint. She'll get her 4th point on the day and cuts the Waynesburg lead to 10. Hess grabs the rebound, shot by Wesolowski. 46-36. Waynesburg leads at 5:41 left to play of the 4th quarter. Hess with it from the left wing. She'll slowly bring it out. That's stolen by Hankins. Hankins with nobody on her. Layup try, falls through. Hankins with her 5th point on the day. Waynesburg leads this one 48-36. 5:30 left to play in the fourth quarter, and a timeout by Westminster is taken. A 30-second timeout here on the floor.
Callista Friday starting to take over this game now. A couple of jumpers, including that three-pointer that put Waynesburg up by 12 at the time, and then the big-time steal by Hankins and the fast break bucket to put them back up by 12.
Callista Friday, 7 points so far for herself this quarter alone right now.
Yeah, I mean, she is, again, just really taking over this game for Waynesburg on the offensive end of the floor. We'll see what the offensive game plan is now for Waynesburg with a 12-point lead in the fourth quarter. Do they start to slow things up and run the shot clock down as much as they possibly can before taking a shot, or do they continue to try to work quickly and expand the lead, even though both teams really have had a tough time getting shots to fall? The field goal percentage for each team probably lower than each coach would want it to be. For Waynesburg, shooting 29.7% from the field for the game. Westminster shooting 27.1% from the field. There's a chance that this could be the lowest scoring PAC women's basketball game of the year. That current game is a 48-42 game that Allegheny played against a non-conference opponent.
Play resumes here as a quick three-point try from the right wing by Brush is good. That's her 12th point on the day for Westminster, and it's 48-39. Waynesburg leads it. 5:05 left to play in the fourth quarter. It's Hankins. She throws it into Wesolowski from the right block. Her shot is no good. Rebound is grabbed by Hess, and a foul on the floor. This one's going against Callista Friday. Her second foul of the game, team second of the quarter. 4:59 left to play of the fourth quarter. It's Morris with it. That hits off of the foot of Friday. Wrestling for it is Dayton and Hess. Macy Justice is there too.
I think they called Maddie Dayton for a travel.
Dayton grabbed full possession of it and never left the floor, trying to throw that pass up to Macy Justice, who was standing right there. Substitution for Westminster. Kennedy Arison comes back in. Emma Morris checks out for Westminster. Hess will inbound it for Westminster. That pass goes to Brush, and she'll take it across the timeline. She'll creep it up to the top of the key. Now over to Hess. And now back out to the right wing. It's Hess with it. Hess guarded by Dayton. Hess drags it into the paint. Her layup try is up. It falls out. Dayton throws over that rebound attempt to Hankins. Hankins will take it across the timeline for Waynesburg. 4:20 left to play of the fourth quarter. Waynesburg leads at 48-39. Friday gives it to Hankins. Hankins on the right wing. She'll pass it into Wesolowski. Now back to Hankins on the right wing. Three attempt is good. Hankins, her second three-pointer. Give her 8 points now on the day. And with just under 4 minutes left to go, Waynesburg leads at 51-39. Casson with it for Westminster in the paint. She tries to get it around Wesolowski. She can't. She gives it over to Brush. Now back to Casson on the right wing. She tries throwing that in. Goes off of Wesolowski and out of play with 3:41 left to go. It's going to be Westminster ball at the right baseline. It's Arison. She'll throw it up to nobody. Friday's going to take advantage of it. Two numbers for Waynesburg. Passing play between Hankins and Friday puts it home on the layup. And it's 53-39. Brush came in with speed, lost it. Waynesburg takes it back. Friday across the timeline with it. She'll give it to Hankins. Hankins with a long three. That's no good. Battle for it on the floor. It was Maddie Dayton and Angelina Brush. Substitution for Westminster and Waynesburg. Kara McFadden and Aubrey Burns checks in. Out comes Maddie Dayton and Callista Friday. Grace Cano comes in for Westminster. Out comes Ella Casson. Westminster with the ball. Now Brush takes over the timeline. Now up into the paint. She throws one over to Cano. Cano from that left block. Layup attempt is no good, but she gets fouled. Tori Wesolowski with the foul. That's her 4th foul of the game.
Yeah, Kayla Howard's going to have to sub back in for Wesolowski. She has no more fouls to give. If she commits one more foul, she's done for the game because that would be her 5th.
Grace Cano lands her first free throw. That's her 9th point today. Her second one is up and just misses. She's now 1 for 4 so far today on her free throws. Waynesburg still leads at 53-40. 3 minutes exactly to go in this one. It's Burns at the top of the key. She'll give it over to the right wing side to Moorbacher. Moorbacher from the right block. She'll throw it back out to the top of the key to McFadden. McFadden takes it in. Now over to Burns. Back to McFadden. Long three-point try from the right wing is no good. Hess grabs the rebound and takes it back for Westminster. She'll throw it over to Arison. Arison drags it in from that left side. In. Her 5th point on today. Cuts Waynesburg's lead now to 11. 53-42 is your score. Waynesburg leads at 2:21 left to play in this 4th quarter. It's Moorbacher with it at the top of the key. She'll give it off to Justice. Justice drives it in. She'll throw it back out to McFadden. McFadden on a fake drive in. Justice shot from the right wing corner. Just goes over on her 3-point try. Brush is going to take it back in for Westminster. 2 minutes exactly to go now in this one. A timeout is going to get called on the floor. This one's going to be called by Westminster. It's going to be a full timeout for Westminster. That's their 3rd timeout that they've taken so far this game. And Waynesburg leads this one 53-42, 1:58 left to go on the clock.
Well, this no longer has a chance to be the lowest scoring women's basketball game in the played by a PAC team or teams this year. Now, that was 48-42 by Allegheny against a non-conference opponent. We mentioned that a few moments ago. Now it's 51-42 in this game with Waynesburg with the lead. But Waynesburg's defense has got a key in here. Westminster cannot get a bucket, and they can't get a quick bucket because a 2-pointer means it's a 7-point game. That's still 3 possessions for Westminster, but 7 points. Then you start to feel that you're back in it, and you really are back in it if you can get another defensive stop. A 3-pointer means it's a 2-possession game. All it would take is 2 threes for Westminster to tie the game up, so this is a very important possession for the Titans. If the Titans can't come away with points here, you wonder if they start fouling because both teams only have been assessed 1 team foul apiece in the 4th quarter. You need to get to 5 team fouls before the other team is shooting in the double bonus from the free throw line. So Westminster still has 4 fouls to give before Waynesburg is shooting. And Westminster, you anticipate them being down by multiple possessions here as we get inside 2 minutes. You'd have to start playing the free throw game. So if the Titans can't come away with the points here, you would start to expect them fouling. I wonder if they'd foul on this next possession or try to get one more defensive stop. Yeah,
Westminster 1 for 2 so far in this quarter alone in the 3 points. That was made by Angelina Rush. Now Arison with it. She'll give it over to Mario on the right wing in the right wing corner. Gives it over to Hess. Now back over to the right wing to Arison. Arison with a long 2. That's blocked. Grabbed by Howard. And now over to McFadden. McFadden's going to take her time crossing that timeline. 1:31 left to play in this one. Waynesburg leads this one 51-42. Justice at the top of the key. She'll give over to the left wing side to McFadden. Now back over to the top of the key to Moorbacher. Back onto the right wing side. Justice now back over to the left wing side to Moorbacher. Waynesburg playing keep away so far right now. 2 seconds on the shot clock. McFadden hits the rim. Shot clock resets, but Westminster's going to take it back. Hess goes in on the layup try. She's fouled on her way to the glass. Foul's going against Aubrey Burns. That's her 2nd foul today. Waynesburg's 5th foul of the quarter. Callista Friday will check in the game for Macy Justice. Justice with only 2 points to her name so far. The freshman from Trinity High School. as Emily Hess's first free throw attempt is no good. .750 percentage for her so far this season. 0 for 1 so far. Make that 0 for 2. Friday's going to grab the rebound for Waynesburg. Now less than a minute to go in this one. Waynesburg up by 11. It's Burns at the top of the key. She'll give it over onto the right wing to Friday.
Westminster's still not fouling, and they got 4 fouls to give before Waynesburg would be shooting double bonus here. So interesting defensive strategy.
Howard back up to the top of the key to Burns. Burns into the paint, over to Moorbacher. Moorbacher with a short 2 from the right wing side is no good. Westminster takes back, layup try, falls in. Kennedy Arison, her 7th point today, and it's 53. It's 53-44. Waynesburg leads it. 23 and a half seconds to go, and Westminster will start the fouling game. That's Kennedy Arison with her 3rd foul of the game, team 2nd of the quarter.
Yeah, no more shot clock the rest of the way, so Westminster's got to foul or else Waynesburg can run this clock out.
Burns gives it to Friday. Friday hanging on with it. 14 seconds. No foul coming by Westminster. Callista and Brush. Looks like Westminster is waving the white flag here as the waning seconds tick off. Nothing but zeros now. Waynesburg with their first PAC win of the season. They win this one 53-44 is your final score.
Yeah, a big second half to win that game by Waynesburg. Big second quarter. They went on that 17-1 run over a 5-minute span in the middle of that third quarter. That's really what won them this game. They went up by 7, then went up by 12. They just kept that lead between 7 and 12 for pretty much that entire fourth quarter and the last 2 minutes of the third quarter. Great job to keep the lead. Holding the lead or getting the lead is one thing. To hold the lead that big for the entire fourth quarter, that's a completely entirely different thing, and that was a great job by Waynesburg to really manage that game in the fourth quarter. They played the exact game they want to play, controlled the pace, really dictated how Westminster played both offensively and defensively. And I said it at the top of the broadcast, what are we going to see in this game? 2 teams desperate for a conference win. Waynesburg is the one that gets that conference win. First of the year, they're now 1-5 in PAC play. They're going to have to start ripping off some conference wins if they got any hope at trying to make the playoffs, but just getting that first conference win, it's a good start to what Waynesburg hopes is a good run over the winter break and getting back in to the heart of PAC play. They now get 2 weeks off to really celebrate that win and gather themselves before they play Hiram on December 30th.
Yeah, Waynesburg 17 points in the third quarter, 16 in the fourth, 10 in the third quarter for Westminster, 14 in the fourth. This second half definitely was the difference in Waynesburg with their three-pointers as well in this one.
Yeah, Waynesburg was 0 of 12 in the first half. They shoot 13 threes in the second half, make 4 of them. I mean, you end the game shooting 16% from 3, but 4 of 13 in the second half after starting 0 for 12. Great turnaround in the three-point shooting, and that's really a key part of Waynesburg's offensive game, at least on the women's side of things. So getting that going, a couple of threes from Hankins, 1 from Burns as well. That was a major difference in that second half compared to the first half offensively for the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, Waynesburg winning the rebound game as well, 49-45 in this. Waynesburg took that lead at the 7:20 mark into the third quarter, and they never looked back from that, winning this one 53-44. That's going to do us all from here on the women's side, but stick around because we got the men's game. I'm going to turn over my play-by-play duties over to Michael McKenzie for that one. That tip-off is going to be here in about 20 minutes or so. But for now, Waynesburg wins this one 53-44. They get their first PAC win. They improve to 1-5, a 5-5 overall record. Westminster falls to 1-3 in the PAC, 1-6 overall. But for myself, Tyler Aaron, and my broadcast partner, Michael McKenzie, we're going to send this one back to Waynesburg, PA, to Brett Gambita in studio. Brett, take it away.
Thank you, Tyler and Michael. Always a pleasure. Waynesburg picks up their first conference win of the season, 53-44 over Westminster. And we mentioned it earlier on, two teams who have struggled very much so on offense this year. In fact, Waynesburg just scored their least amount of points in a season, or in a game this season, but they won that game today versus Westminster. The previous low total on the year was 54 2 games ago versus Chatham. That was a 71-54 loss. But yeah, this game, Waynesburg scores their least amount of points in a game this season at 53, but they get the 53-44 win, and I don't think you can complain if you're Coach Sam Jones and this Waynesburg squad. They were hungry to get that first conference win out of the way with, and they did just that today. And looking at some of the upcoming games, they'll see Hiram on December 30th, 5-3 team, who is actually joining the PAC, not this year, but next year. Hiram will be a full-time conference opponent, so a good look at what's to come in the future years there against Hiram. And then on January 4th, they'll travel to St. Vincent to play the 3-5 Bearcats, and then 4 days later, back here at home, the Rudy Marissa Fieldhouse against 1-8 Franciscan. So that's the future outlook there for the Waynesburg women's basketball team. But focusing in more on this game for them, it was Callista Friday leading the way with 14 points, Jules Moorbacher with 12, Mia Hankins with 8. Those are your top 3 scorers in the game. Jules Moorbacher able to get herself a double-double as well, as she led Waynesburg in rebounds with 12. Tori Wazalowski with 8 rebounds, Callista Friday with 7. For assists, 4 players tied at the top with 2. Kara McFadden, Tori Wazalowski, Jules Moorbacher, Mia Hankins, all with 2 assists. Madison Dayton doing some work on the defensive end. She had 4 steals in this game for Waynesburg. Jules Moorbacher and Callista Friday as well, 3 steals apiece. It was a pretty good second half showing for the Waynesburg Yellow Jackets. We mentioned it, they didn't hit a single 3 in the first half, 0 for 12 at the break. But they come out firing in the third quarter. Mia Hankins, Aubrey Burns able to connect on some 3s. As Michael McKenzie mentioned, you finished the game shooting 16% from beyond the arc, but 4 for 13 in the second half is definitely a step up from the 0 for 12 that they shot in the first half. Quarter-by-quarter breakdown, Waynesburg able to win the third quarter 17-10. The third quarter had given Waynesburg problems all season, and even the last few seasons, really. But they're able to actually score more points today in the third quarter than they did in each of the last 2 games' third quarters combined. So a 17-point showing in the third is definitely a strong sign, and hopefully that Waynesburg team can continue to have strong showings out of the locker room in the future in that third quarter. And they hold Westminster to just 10 in the quarter. Westminster shot 3 for 19 in the third. And moving on to the fourth, a lot closer of a fourth quarter. Waynesburg takes it 16-14. 2 for 8 from 3 was Waynesburg in the quarter. But you win 3 quarters, chances are you win the game. And we've seen in the past where this team won 3 quarters and they didn't win the third quarter, and that ended up backfiring them and costing them the game. But that's not the issue today. The third quarter was actually the most productive in terms of points in this game. So Waynesburg gets the 53-44 win, and we're about 20 minutes away from tip-off of the men's game, the second game here of the men's and women's doubleheader in President's Athletic Conference play. We're going to step away here for about 15 minutes or so, and then we'll preview the men's game. So don't go anywhere. This is Breck and Beat live here on 99.5 The Hive.